Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Dalia, and I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day today. Hi, how are you? I'm so excited to finally be back with another video. First video, technically, of 2021. I can't believe we're in the new year. Very excited. So today's video, if you can tell by the title, is going to be an Enchanted Forest speed build. I've wanted to do this build for quite a long time, and I'm really excited to finally get the opportunity to do so. So this is where the Enchanted Forest is going to be, just to the right of my resident services. Ignoring all the houses and things that are still surrounding this area. They will be taken care of eventually, because I have a lot of really exciting things planned for these areas too. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I decided to do was just to quickly dig up this little pond that came with the island. I've been meaning to do it for quite a while now. The build doesn't actually end up over here, but I figured that now is a good time as any just to kind of take care of it. And I love that as I was terraforming and getting rid of it, the little pond here area kind of looked like a mini heart for a moment there, which I thought was really cute. So I just quickly took care of that, and then I moved on to figuring out how I wanted the pathway to work. And if you know anything about me, you know that me doing any form of path is always like incredibly difficult. I can never get the shape the way that I wanted to, so this time I decided to kind of lay it out how I wanted it by using the dark dirt, just to kind of get a general idea of how I wanted the shape to kind of form. So as you can see, I am going up completely along. It ends up kind of like directly behind Eric's house, which I do end up moving in this video to make room for something I end up building. But yeah, and then I cut a little bit here, and you can see I quickly cut to me just putting the path down, because if you know, like I said, anything about me, my terraforming and pathing skills are not the best, so I thought I'd save you guys the unfortunate experience of watching me try to put down the path. Like as you can see here, I'm already screwing it up. So yeah, I just spent a little while planning out the path. It probably took me like 30 minutes to get the path the way that I wanted to, but then once that I did, it was time to start putting down the trees, because of course this area would not be a enchanted forest without tons of trees. I do modify the path a little bit in the middle of the video. You'll see a little later on, but I do kind of stick to this this shape that I was going with originally. So, and I'm actually quite happy with the way that it turned out. I changed it around a little bit, like you'll see here, but overall I did keep the path kind of the same way. I ended up actually dividing it here just to give the area a little bit more I don't know, dimension, whatever you want to call it. I feel like it looks really good when the paths kind of break off from one another and they're not always cohesive and then flowing within one path. So I decided to divide it up here, and then I moved on to planting some of the trees. So as you continue to watch me struggle with the path, I just wanted to say a huge thank you guys for all my new subscribers. Gained quite a few in the last week, despite having not posted a new video yet in 2021. I'm so grateful for all of your support on this channel so far. So if you do like this video, please don't hesitate to comment down below and tell me what you think. Like it to help my video out. It really does help me out so much when you guys like my videos. Lets the YouTube algorithm know that you guys like my content and would like to see more. And also don't hesitate to even subscribe if you enjoyed this kind of video and would like to see more from me. I post tons of speed build videos such as this one, and I have tons more coming. So anyway, yeah, so after I planted a bunch of trees, I was originally going with only cedar trees, but I do add different kinds as I go further along. I also decided to build some cliffs to add some waterfalls into the speed build. I initially didn't have any intention of doing this whatsoever, but as I was putting down the trees, I figured it'd be just a good idea to add more dimension and height to the space, and nothing screams enchanted, mystical, magical more than running water, like waterfalls. It always looks so pretty, and it also gave more area to plant more trees. So I just make a couple of mini waterfalls, as you can see me starting to do it here. Had to get rid of a bunch of these flowers, obviously, and I did have to modify the path just a little bit to now accommodate for the new waterfalls that I've added. But I'm actually extremely happy with the way that the waterfalls turned out in the end. I'm not the best at water terraforming. I'm not best at terraforming in any way, but I'm really actually quite happy with the way that these turned out. They're really small, and they're nothing like some of the amazing cliffs and waterfalls I've seen other people build and design on their own islands. But overall, I was really quite happy with the way that they turned out. And here I was just quickly planting a couple of trees because I did need them for this speed build. I needed them to be like smaller than the actual size, so I quickly planted a few, and then with the magic of editing, boom, they are grown to the size that I wanted them to be. Just like magic. Anyway, yeah, so I had just had to make the cliff area over here a little bit bigger in order to plant some of the trees, because obviously it is a little bit difficult to plant trees when there's water nearby unless you use the glitch method, which I honestly could have done, but I was kind of feeling a little bit lazy and didn't really feel like trying to make the cliff trees work today. So I just decided to plant a stunted cedar tree on the left and then a bigger cedar tree on the right. And I'm actually quite happy with that they look. I love the way that smaller trees look on cliffs. Gives it a lot of added extra dimension, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And then I went around and planted a couple more trees, and now that I had a couple of the large and medium-sized trees, the other ones, I was going around and planting them around the area. This is where Eric's house being here starts to get in the way, which it gets even further so in the way later on in the video, so I do end up moving it. But for right now, I just kept this house here until I ultimately decided that it had to be moved in order to accommodate the build that I wanted to do, because much like the cliff I made on the left side of the path, I ended up making a cliff to the right with another waterfall, which was like basically directly in the space that Eric's house was in. And then I decided that it'd be kind of fun to include some bamboo trees in this build, and I haven't used bamboo trees in any speed build yet, but I thought that especially with spring soon coming, very soon, who knows if it's going to be in a long while or very soon on my channel, hint hint, nudge nudge, I have no idea what I'm talking about, never mind. I thought it'd be really nice to include some bamboo trees, and I think that they look really, really good. So then I started building up the cliff. This is where Eric's house started becoming a little bit difficult to work around. So after I built up this cliff a little bit, I quickly headed over to resident services and moved his house to another area on the island. And much like I did on the other cliff, I put a stunted tree in the middle here. I think that it looks really cute that it's not like a full grown hardwood tree. It looks really nice when it's not at its full height. And then I just planted a apple tree behind it to prevent it from growing further. Wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do with this waterfall, but I decided making like a little mini pond on the outside of the cliff, just so it kind of goes like around the pathway. Looked really cute, and I was actually really happy with the way that it turned out. Alright, so now with Eric's house out of the way, I had to extend the cliff out further because much like the other cliff, I wanted there to be at least 2 trees on this cliff as well. So of course I had to extend it out to make more room because the waterfall is on the edge of that cliff. I did have to make a little bit further out just to make the tree fit, but ultimately I'm really happy with the way that both of the cliffs look, and I'm really happy that I decided to include it in this build. One issue I will say that I do have with building cliffs is that I do not know how to decorate them. I hope I'm not the only person who struggles with this, but when it comes to using actual items to decorate, I am just terrible at it. So speaking of decorating, now I was starting to decorate with items. My initial idea for this was to use a lot of butterfly models, so I spent quite a long time collecting them, especially the Emperor Monarch butterfly, like the blue one, because it looks absolutely, first of all, it looks really good, but also at night it glows and has this like glowy blue look to it, and it's so pretty. And another thing I really wanted to use a lot of was some statues, especially the beautiful statue, and I have quite a few of them, so I do use a few of them in this video. I was actually going to use more than I ended up using, but I decided to keep a little bit more subtle and to incorporate different items. And in the middle of doing this, you'll see a little later on, I ended up adding a lot of mush items as well, because I kind of wanted this to be like an enchanted mushroom kind of forest. And I think especially when the snow melts, it'll look really pretty with the mushrooms and like the green grass and everything. So I'm really excited to see the way that it's gonna look. Like, I love the way that it turned out and the way that it looks in the winter, but I think with like the green, when it's not like this blue color, this blue-white color, but more like vibrant and green. It's just gonna look really, really pretty, and I'm really excited to see what that looks like. So instead of only using like one type of light source, I decided to use both mush lamps and street lamps and some garden lanterns too, just to give the area more like dimension and definition by using various different items. I did keep all the items white. I don't know if that's gonna stay permanently, but with the snow and the way that it looks, I felt that the white looked best. And I wanted like a little cohesiveness between them, and I'm actually really happy with the way that they look all in white, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to stay that way. So then I decided to add a couple of little areas for sitting down. I added a log bench, and then later on a wild log bench, because they look the best in the space. Like, it still looks really natural that they're there. Obviously being wood, like being made of wood. And I think they look really cute because they blend really well in with the area without like taking it away from the fact that the area looks very natural too. And they kind of just like blend seamlessly in with the trees. So here's the wild log bench. I decided to put this vertically over here up against the trees, and then I just moved some things around to incorporate it, and I think that it looks really good. I love the way that the big butterfly models look. They take up a lot of space, but if you manage to decorate with them properly, I think that they look really good with the space in the area. And I'm really happy with the way that everything started to come together. So now for the rest of this video, except for when I'm putting together a path leading from like the resident services to this area, most of this video is just me decorating with flowers and some custom codes and things like that. Obviously I have to fill the space up, especially with this being like a forest style area. So that's pretty much what I do for the rest of this video. So I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit, and you can just watch me do some decorating for a little bit. Just cutting it again real quick to tell you that this is where I decided to add a path going from the like Enchanted Forest area over here. I thought it made the most sense to have like a little pathway to make it seem more seamless and so that the area worked together, and I really like the way that the path actually turned out. Surprise, surprise, I'm not always really happy with the way that my paths turned out, but I actually think that it blended together really well. I kind of wanted to use wooden planks in this area, but I'm actually glad that I decided to stick with the dirt path that I already had going for the rest of the area, and I think it looks really good, and I hope that you agree with me. Let me know if you think that it would have been better if I had used a different path, but I think that it looks quite good. I realized as I was decorating that I was using a lot of mainly like white and black flowers, so I decided to throw in some red and green, using a couple of red flowers, and then obviously the green mums. The green mums always look amazing in any build that I do. And then of course I had to throw in some country fencing. Nothing too extreme, but I like putting country fencing on especially cliffs, because I think that it looks really good when you just put like one country fence on like a horizontal. It just looks really nice. Hopefully you understand what I mean when I say that. But yeah, so once again, just putting down flowers and more custom codes, and I could see that the area was slowly starting to come together. And right now at this point I was just putting together some last minute finishing touches to just complete the speed build. Because I had this little corner that didn't really have anything on it except like the black tulips, I decided to throw down this circular stone path. If you've seen, I do have this circular stone path going along the left side of my resident services, so I thought it made sense to have a little area that also has it there. I might add something more to the area later on, but just for the time being I left it just the circular stones with a couple of flowers. And then after throwing down a couple of more custom codes and a few more flowers and weeds, because of course there's always more and more to add, we were finished with this build. Okay guys, we are at my airport, so let's go check out the Enchanted Forest. I'm really excited to show you, so let's go. Alright, so that is it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. I think this turned out so cute and I'm so extremely happy with the final product. It's kind of like what I envisioned in my head. Did turn into something a little bit different. But at the same time, I think that it looks absolutely adorable, and I really hope that you guys agree. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video and would like to see more from me, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!